Welcome everyone to another night review. Today we have the 2021 Acura TLX A-Spec, and today we're going to take a look at all these exterior lights, the interior lights, and go for a test drive and see just how well everything does. Now, if this is your first time tuning in for a night review, I do these on most of the vehicles I review as well as full reviews, so be sure to check out the full review on this vehicle coming up soon. And if you like what you see, subscribe down below. But starting up front with this A-Spec, so every single A-Spec model is going to give you full LED headlights. So you've got these dual headlights, you've got the individual headlights. They look really nice with that distinct signature daytime running light, which is LED below that. You'll also notice that we have LED fog lights. Not every model gets fog lights, but the A-Spec and the Advanced get the fog lights. Now this is a redesign for 2021. You've got a little bit of a different look, more premium, a larger hood. You can see those big kind of flares on the hood, and you'll see the daytime running light stays and the LED blinker is just below that. And this is the platinum white paint color. What do y'all think of this paint? With the A-Spec package, considering all the accents like the wheels, the black, the different trim, I think it looks great. It's got a really nice sparkle to it as well. Let me know what you think. Those wheels are shark gray for this A-Spec, and they're 19-inch wheels. I think they look nice on here with the accent pieces, the A-Spec badge, and you've got that blinker in the mirror, plus up front you've got that marker light on the side. So definitely got some good visibility, good lighting on the side here. What do y'all think of the design? It looks like a big car because it is a big car, but it drives like a smaller car, and I'll tell you what I mean in just a little bit. Now as we look at the taillights, you've got the same kind of signature taillight design. You can see the little swoop drop down. Plus you've got an LED blinker here. Signals are LED. The license plate lights are LED as well. And you've got double exhaust with a little A-Spec spoiler up there. And then just to give you a quick look at the brake and reverse lights. Now let's take a quick look at the cargo light. Super fast. There is a little button you can push. It will pop up. And then lighting back here is definitely really minimal. I mean, you've got a little light right there. There's not a whole lot going on, not much for light, and it's a really small trunk. So I'd like to see an LED light on each side or something, but hey, what can you do? And then before we look in the back seat, just a quick look at this paint. Look how sparkly that is with the light shining off that. I think it looks really nice. It's not just a flat white paint. Then as we open up the back door, one quick thing you'll notice, other than the target bag, is ambient lighting in the door handle right there. That window switch is illuminated. You've got some LED lighting from up above as well. I'll show you more of that back seat in the full review, all the details there. But as we look in here in the front, you'll see more ambient lighting here. We'll go through that in just a second. And I'll take a look at all these displays and the LED lights inside. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and start it up. Push button start, lights up right over there. And you've got a couple of screens here. But real quick, over on the door, you can see this strip of ambient lighting running across. I'll go through the different colors, plus lighting in the door handle. You can got controls or lights for your memory settings. It's always good to see. And then every button over here, from your window switches to your mirror controls, is lit up as well. Even a light on the door for your trunk opener. Then up here, you've got a brightness control button, that one on the left for the interior brightness, your Acura Watch safety system, traction control, and parking sensors all illuminated. And an electronic parking brake. And then look down at my feet. It's a little bit brighter than what this actually shows, but you can even have ambient lighting down at your feet, which is nice. And then right in front of us, the steering wheel controls are actually kind of on the dim side, even with the brightness almost turned all the way up, and that just brightens the screens up. But I can still see it just fine. I mean, you've got audio controls, voice controls, controls for your center display, and cruise control as well. It's just a little bit dim. Then in front of us, look at these gauges. These gauges are unique. You definitely don't see gauges like this very often. You get a lot of big digital displays, white gauges, but look at the contrast with the red backlighting. What do y'all think of that? And then in the middle, you've got speed, trip computer, navigation, kind of your basic information. It's kind of cool. You can see the all-wheel drive controls on here, driver attention. You can customize this a little bit, but nothing too fancy. For example, if I put it in sport mode, the gauges will change a little bit. Let's go to there, and then you can see up at the top a couple of those extra gauges like the accelerometer, G meter, and the turbo meter on the left. And then right up here, this is a standard screen. It is a large screen. It is not a touch screen. You control everything on here through a touchpad. So it works just fine. It definitely takes getting used to, but you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on here, customizable settings, things like that. Now, if you want to control some light settings, go to Settings, Vehicle, and then it takes a little bit to kind of go through all of this stuff, but you got to scroll down, Lighting Setup. That's exactly what we're talking about in here. And then you can control the ambient lighting, the accent lighting, how long it dims, how long it takes for the headlights to turn off, things like that. So you can customize that in here. Now, before we dive into the ambient lighting, let me quickly go through some of this and then I'll show you what all that is like. Just below that, you've got dual zone climate control, works very well, illuminated, everything looks good, 3-tier heated and ventilated seats, drive modes all right here. I mean, everything is illuminated, easy layout, everything's easy to reach, even your shifter. I mean, this is a push button shifter, but everything's illuminated there too. And then down here is where your touchpad is to control your display up above. Volume control, seeking, everything has a light, so you're not missing out on that. And then you might be able to see just a little bit. There's a very faint little glow right here. Now watch. It gets dark, it lights up, it gets dark. There is a little light above, but you can see that little tiny light in there next to the push tilt button. That illuminates your center console a little bit. So that lights up the cup holders and stuff like that. Let me just give you a quick look at all of this stuff right here. Nice layout, wireless charging mat right there. Cup holders don't have lighting, but they get a little bit of glow from that up above section. And then I'll turn this back off, and nice center armrest with a light inside. That's always good to see. And you got a couple charging ports in there. Acura also gives you a locking glove box that has a little bit of a light in here too. Now back to the ambient lighting. As you can see, you've got ambient lighting coming down that center console area and on both doors like that, plus down at the footwell on the passenger side too. And the ambient lighting can be changed quite a bit. So first of all, you can go with the brightness here. You can have it linked to the illumination button next to the steering wheel on max, which is what I have it at, or you can completely turn it off. So I turn that off, and look, everything is off. Nothing down there, nothing on the doors. So you can completely turn it off. If you find it annoying, I will have it on for you guys for the whole test drive today. But even on the low setting, the low is nice. It's a very nice, gentle dim. The camera's making it brighter than what it is just because it's emphasizing the light, but still, you can dim it, turn it off, whatever you want. And then they have the light theme. Whoops. See, I'm not a huge fan of this touchpad. I accidentally touch stuff, but go to the accent light theme. And then you can have these different lights. So you can have the footwell lighting and the lines of light be different. There are so many different types. I mean, you can have red, you can have blue, like purpley, brownish, golden. There's so many different ones that you can go through on here, or you can have it go off of whatever mode that you are going with. So it can change depending on which drive mode you're in. So right now we're in sport mode, so it's red, and it looks kind of orange right now, but that is actually red. Then if I shift into normal mode, it just turns into white. Go to comfort mode, it'll go to like a bluish color. So that's pretty sweet how it does that. And then up above, there is an automatic dimming rearview mirror with garage controls on here as well. Plus you've got individual lights that actually have a button that is lit up, which is nice to see. You've got a sunglass holder, moonroof, other light over there for your map lights. Turn all of them on, and it's pretty bright in here. And as you guys can see, it lights everything up pretty nicely on the sides and in the center console area. And if you don't want the lights to turn on when you open the door, you can elect to have it on or off. Turn it off and open the door, no lights turn on. Or press door, open it, and the lights will turn on. And then right in front of us, looking at these headlights, all LED, they're all the same on every trim, no adaptive lights, nothing fancy like that. But you've got a really strong beam pattern. It sits low, but this is a low car, but it's not that big of a dip right there. So that actually looks pretty nice. Check out the high beams. That is like the highest high beam I have ever seen. Most of them don't even get up above that gray line, but holy crap. And that really doesn't serve a purpose, but that is definitely bright out in front. And then just for reference, a quick look at the fog lights. Fog lights off, fog lights on. In town cornering, they actually help into corners. Otherwise, I haven't been able to drive in the fog. And these get the best possible rating, a good rating from the IIHS. That's the best that you can get. Let's get on the road. All right, y'all, let's get going in this test drive on this night video. So in this night drive, it's mainly gonna be talking about how well these headlights do. Check out the automatic high beam function, and the high beams, the low beams, the fog lights, and get on a real dark road, take some turns, and just see what we think. We'll start with this view, and then when we get on the dark road, I'm gonna switch cameras. You'll get a zoom in on the headlights so you can see just how well they do. And so you know what it's like to drive the TLX at night if you're interested and you're gonna buy one. But my first impression of the TLX is that this car does not feel as big as it is. This is a long, big car. A lot bigger than I really expected it to be or thought it was gonna be. And it's much more nimble than I was really expecting. But I'll talk a lot more about that in my full daytime review, so be sure to check that out. But why not? Let's put it in sport mode and get one pedal down. We got super handling, all-wheel drive. There we go. What do y'all think? It's not too bad. It's definitely not a burner, not super fast, but it's still fun to drive, especially the handling aspect. Sport mode really stiffens the steering up, but I'm gonna go back into just kind of comfort mode, normal mode here, comfort mode actually. But real quick, before we get on the dark road, the rear view mirror is automatic dimming, so that's great. The side mirrors are not automatic dimming. Neither side is automatic dimming, and I don't believe they're automatic dimming on the top advanced package either. So that's a real bummer and kind of disappointing. And just a real quick note before we get on the dark road, the automatic high beams, if you have the headlight stock in auto, you can flick the stock towards you to turn the automatic high beams on or off. I mean, you can do that to turn the high beams on manually, or you can move the stock forward to turn them on and keep them on. Otherwise, there will be a little A, or a little headlight symbol with an A in it in your center display to let you know if the automatic function is engaged. And we'll have it, I'll tell you whether or not we have those on or off coming right up. All right, we are just turning on to the dark road. Let's go ahead and switch that camera angle now. Okay, coming over this hill, I'm gonna have the automatic high beams off, so just the low beams right now. They got great distance. And then as we flatten out, we'll really get a look and see how we do into this corner. There's not nearly as big of a dip in the headlights as there is in many others. And I can kind of see into that corner. That looks good. I can see much better than that Lexus that I had just recently. Going around the corner, still the low beams. And it's not great going around the corner to the side, but these headlights are still very bright. No adaptive function though, which is disappointing. Low beams still, I can see quite a ways. And then the high beams, those high beams are quite bright. Those do a nice job. So now the automatic headlights are on and the high beams just turned on. There's no oncoming traffic. We'll see if we get some. And the high beams are definitely brightening everything up. Let me see if the house lights and street lights turn the high beams off or not. So far they're staying on. And so far nothing's turning off these automatic high beams, which is good, because sometimes these side street lights turn them off. But straight shoot ahead, look how bright that is. I can see way up there. Now the low beams, still a good beam pattern with those low beams. I mean, that's not bad. Still have good distance. And then as far as the width goes, so fog lights are now off. Now they're on. Off, on, and they definitely help with the immediate distance, but nothing dramatic with further out into the ditches, but these still have good width to them. I'm definitely happy with that. I'm really happy with these headlights. I've got the automatic high beams on again, and they just turned back on. So they're responsive, turned them on, they turned on right away. We'll see if we can get some more oncoming traffic in a second, but so far I'm very happy with these. I would definitely have to agree with the top good rating from the IIHS. So the automatic high beams are on, and you can probably hear the road surface change. This car lets in way more road noise than it should. And traffic just came over the hill. The high beams turned off right away. I'm curious if they'll turn on after this car goes by. And no, so far they haven't. We're still on the low beams. It probably senses the extra light from the houses nearby or the stoplights up ahead. I'm a little bummed by that. I wish they could turn on right here. Some cars do, some cars don't. But if I turn them on, they are super bright. So, well, hope y'all got a good look at these Acura headlights. I like the way they look. I like the way that they perform inside and out, and the ambient lighting. But what do y'all think? Let me know down below. I like the ambiance. If you liked this video, please go down there, smash that like button. It shows me your support and it really helps me out. And be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one. Thank y'all so much and have a great day.